Alright, Tales because is probably a different one. I don't actually think I've done before, and it's actually a rant video about the 7th anniversary on Legends, right? So I'm not going to completely talk trash about the whole anniversary and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about the points I think definitely needed to change and didn't, and we'll also talk about the good points as well, right? Because there is good and bad, but I feel like for the 7th anniversary, the way they hyped it up this whole time, it really didn't live up to the expectations a lot of people were expecting. So let's hop straight into it, right? So obviously the first thing is a lot of people said the unit selection was bad. Now, to be honest, in my opinion, I think it was actually pretty good in terms of units. Let me just quickly change this so we can get them all up in order. So obviously, you know, at the start of the celebration, I mean, to me, I'm not going to complain obviously because I'm a huge MUI Goku fan. Do I think he should have been the Ultra? If I didn't know Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza were dropping, I would say yes, he should be the Ultra. But, I mean, at the same time, him as an LF as transforming unit, to me, was a really good pick to start off the anniversary. Evo Vegeta, if they made him better, in terms of, like, kit-wise, yeah, I would agree, it probably was a really good pick. But, him being fairly mid, even from release, I mean, he was good on release, but not, you know what I mean, he wasn't as expected as, like, Goku, for example, how good he was. So, to me, I think that, in terms of selection that was a terrible idea. If they made him really good, like the other anniversary units, then yeah, we'd be kicking off to a good start, right? Obviously part 2 as well, a lot of people did complain about, you know, this saga wasn't, you know, very hype in terms of stuff, but in my eyes, considering, like, you know, they dropped it alongside the new dynamic battles situation, the update, I think that was a really good pick, right? It makes sense with the update, animations were definitely top tier. You know, to me, it all made sense why they would drop these units. And, you know, yes, we didn't make top grossing, so I couldn't really prove my point saying Saiyan Saga was hype enough. But in terms of my eyes, a lot of people did get this Goku, for example, up fairly high stars, and also Vegeta, so... I mean, I'm just saying, obviously people did summon, it must have been hype enough to summon. So, yeah, that was part 2, and then obviously part 3, which... To me, I'm a bit on the defensive about this. This is probably where the start of the little rant begins, right? Now, in terms of dropping 2 Ultras at once, do I think it's a good idea? Yes. But the one bad thing I really dislike about this is there's no pity on the banners, right? So you can make the point, you know, if we bring up the banners now, you can bring up the point with Frieza, you do have the 3 times boosted rate. I think it's the second step? Yeah, the second step. So that's obviously good in one way. But at the same time, that's not a guaranteed copy, right? So, I got fairly lucky with mine. I think Frieza... Actually, how many... I forgot actually what I think my Frieza's nearly done. I'm just trying to roughly work out. So, I went probably about... I can't remember exactly how much CC I went. I think it was like over 100k CC just on Frieza's banner. And obviously he's not done yet, right? He's close. Once I get the Z-Power pack, the Ultra Z-Power pack, he'll be done. But... knowing how deep I had to go on just Frieza's banner alone, right? That's no one else's, that's just Frieza, right? And then Goku, I think I'm just over 200k now. CC, so just to sort of show how bad that is. Now, if there was pity in it, right, I could definitely shorten that big time. So, if there's like other people out there that are struggling to get CC, stuff like that, and summoning on these trashy banners, right? I mean, the Ultra banners aren't really the worst, these ones. The only bad thing is, I'll say adding Krillin. Krillin was a good idea to bring as a banner unit, but if you get like a Trunks or Bardock animation, you know, it's not guaranteed new Ultras, it's guaranteed new featured units. So it could either be Krillin or the new Ultra, right? So to me, that was a bad idea unless they can somehow change it, so like a Bardock that does absolutely guarantee new Ultra. But I mean, like, these other units in this banner, man, like, you're not going to use them. So... So to me, it's a stupid idea. If I just dropped the Goku, for example, you know, I'd be fine with that. But dropping Frieza as well, they definitely needed the pity system. But I guess you can also bring up the point, we did get that event, we get 1,000 Ultra Z-Power for free for Frieza, which I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's still a cool thing to add. It's just, to me, it's not enough, because to use that Z-Power, you have to get Frieza. And like I said, these Ultra banners aren't worth summoning for. Yes, and your Ultras are good, but in terms of the actual, you know, is it worth spending your CC on it? Probably not. So that's the main, well, you know, I guess the main thing about the character-wise, rant I just want to bring up is that part. It is a good idea dropping 2 at once. It's just they need to rework the banners a little bit more in my eyes to make it a bit better for everyone. But I guess everyone has their own opinions, right? So I guess the next 2 things we can sort of add in together is event-wise, right? Now, obviously, some of these events have actually gone away because obviously this is the after party now. But in terms of events during anniversary, what do we get? We got the Legends Anniversary Tower, and pretty much this event was the only 2 good sort of events here. I mean, they did take a while to do, so I guess that was a good thing for content. But other than that, we got like nothing new. Even this God Challenge here, right? We did not get one of these during the whole celebration, which goes for like, what, a month? I think anniversary goes for. So, no new events other than the 2 for a whole month, to me, is a huge L. Considering when anniversary is meant to be jam-packed stuff of new content, new events, stuff like that, heaps of new missions, and we basically got nothing. Yeah, I guess the only good thing in terms of free-to-play wise for events and missions is you did get tickets for... Are the banners still up? Yeah, so you can get tickets for this on it, which this banner is... It is good depending on how much or how many of these units you got fought inside. It is a good banner, all these ones here. To me, I still gotta summon all of them just to get my guild points up, but I don't really need the units. It is mid to me, but at the same time, this was a good part about it, but this is... I wouldn't say this is enough content to call it a good part of the celebration. It is a good pickup, but... I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we needed more events to sort of build up the hype. And then probably the other 2 big things I guess we can sort of talk about. Well, yeah, I guess the other big main thing for me is in terms of Zenkais, right? So, actually, I'll quickly pull this up. If we go... Let's go and go in order. Cause like, I know who the Zenkais were, but just to show visually how many Zenkais we got. Does this show? No, okay. So, the first one we got for anniversary was Goku, right? Which, this regular Goku, obviously pretty... Well, he wasn't the best, but to me it was good because I really like this Goku. But, yeah, that was one Zenkai, right? And like I said, he's probably okay for a bench unit. But, like, other than that, he's not really... Even there yet, Element, Green, and Universe Rep. So, probably not the best example, but this is just one Zenkai, right? Which you think, oh yeah, good start, good LF Zenkai, right? You want to know how many other Zenkais we got? Let me quickly show you the other one if I remember where he is in here. This Frieza, right? Now, he is good, right? After Zenkai, he's good. I'm not complaining about that. But we've got 2 Zenkais throughout the whole celebration of anniversary. Now, to compare this to like Dokkan, for example, because obviously Dokkan Legends are similar in ways, right? So they have a thing called Easy A's, right? Easy A's are exactly the same thing as Zenkais, right? You want to know how many they got last night for the part 2 of their celebration, which is basically anniversary? They got 10. 10 Easy A's. Just think of that. And that's only just for the start of part 2. They got a few more. I can't remember how many they got for part 1. But that's just an example. Like, we could have easily got plenty of more Zenkais to do. But Legends was like, nah. I mean, I guess you can sort of technically count 18 because she was just before... She was before anniversary. So I guess you can maybe count her as another Zenkai. But that, like I said, it's not in... It was like the pre-anniversary countdown. So I'm not really counting it too much. You know, for this sake, we'll still call it 3. And in terms of LF Zenkais, we should have got a lot more. We only got the 1. But there's plenty of other Zenkais they could have picked here to do. Like, I would have been happy with Goku and Frieza got a Zenkai. But we got a platinum equipment for him, but that didn't really make him good at all. Not platinum equipment, unique equipment, sorry. So, for them not releasing enough Zenkais, it's just a huge L to me. Like I said, that even not LF Zenkais, there's so many Zenkai picks they could have done to help out teams that desperately need the buffs. And Legends is like, nah, you guys just don't need it. So, I don't know if there's a problem in terms of, you know, maybe this stuff going internally. At Legends, like, I think the big problem to me, the reason why Anniversary was so mid, is in terms of the updates, right? Now, you may think, oh, the updates aren't that big of a deal. They are huge updates, well, it'll affect Anniversary, right? Well, you think about it. They got to spend time and, you know, obviously a lot of money on getting these updates, right? So, and obviously, like, other things, like, I think Diamond Goku probably would have cost a lot to get that collab with. I know I brought him up, I just saw him in the corner there. But the big thing why I think that is, like, because obviously, like I said, it spends a lot of time getting these, you know, make sure the updates work, you know, no bugs, glitches, nothing like that, no game-breaking stuff. And when you do that, all the other stuff like anniversary events, Zenkais, stuff like that, gets pushed to the side, right? Now, obviously, they had a lot of time to work on animations with units and that, and artwork, but in terms of the core of the anniversary, I think the reason why it was so messed up is because all their hard-earned time and money was just focused on the updates, which is good, right? The updates were they were pretty good. It's just you need more stuff for an anniversary, right? And if that was the problem why the anniversary was struggling in terms of the core of the celebration, why not, instead of making all the big updates in the anniversary, spread them out throughout the year? So, like I brought up on, I think, Twitter, the UI update should have dropped at the start of the year. The dynamic battles update dropped pre-anniversary, and then, you know, part 1, obviously Goku and Vegeta would make a lot of sense of the ground, rather than dynamic battles. And then, don't worry about the third update till, like, Legends Fest, just before Legends Fest. So you're evenly spreading it, and you're also getting even amounts of content and time into the game, right? To me, that made a lot of sense, but Legends is, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know if that's the full reason why the anniversary was mid, but to me, that's the most logical sense, but I could be completely wrong. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be it for today's rant video. I think what I will do is another community reaction video. So I'll make a post up on YouTube and also Twitter, or X, asking about what you guys have changed about the anniversary. Like I said, there was definitely a lot of things that definitely could change, but this video I'm just talking about my personal opinions. So I think I'll do a community reaction, and then I'll, you know, sort of look at what you guys think should change and see if I agree or disagree, stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys actually like this video, or if you do want to comment something about the celebration, leave a comment down below. And yeah, because that's the video, you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you as I win the next one.